because I was gang banging with a Munchie that could see. He wasn't blind. So I witnessed the full-fledged Munchie, and he was no joke. It was no off day with him. He was not resting. I had to do extra to try to top him. On 104th and Crenshaw, somebody jumped out the car and was like, "Where you from?" And I was like, "I'm from Crenshaw Mafia." And he was like, "Oh, okay." When I turned around, the nigga pulled out a 12-gauge shotgun and blew my head clean off. Some Crips followed me home.
Ooh.
I was flamed up. They followed me home, waited till I hit my auntie yard, and they started shooting.
Now, speaking of Munchie B, yeah, shout to Munchie B, man.
Me and Munchie grew up together because Munchie was, before he was from Inglewood Family 9 Deuce, he was from a hood called Dime Block. And Munchie also have a older brother also by the name of Munchie. So Munchie wasn't always Big Munchie from Inglewood Family. He was Little Munchie at first from Dime Block. And then he turned Inglewood Family's 8th grade. End of 7th grade, going into 8th grade, he turned IF.
All right, for sure. Now, we all hear things in the streets, and, we don't say no incriminating stuff on here, but, when you look at Munchie now, you know what I'm saying, he's like, I would say he's like the comeback king. Everybody used to hate him, because of the Nipsey thing and the store and the Draco the Ruler thing. But are you proud to see him, kind of overcome the situation and now got his own podcast on Street TV, and you might catch him on No Jumper? Are you kind of surprised that he made a full, 360 and really do something positive versus where he came from?
Well, to be honest with you, before Munchie went blind, before he got shot and went blind, because I was gang banging with a Munchie that could see. He wasn't blind. So I witnessed the full-fledged Munchie from Dime Block on to Inglewood Families, and he was no joke. And yes, he took, when we was together, it was like I had to do extra to try to top him because he was extras. And when I say extras, I'm not meaning he's just extra'd out, but he's extra'd out with the business. He's with the gang banging shit.
Right, for sure.
And he got that from his older brother and his father too. So he was with the function. So whenever I was with him when we was growing up, I had to make sure that I was on his level, as far as gang banging. Because if he turned up, I had to turn up. It was no off day with him. He was not resting.
I could dig it. You kind of reached a point where you reached a crossroads where you like, hey, man, I'm going to go on and I don't make sure I don't skip nothing, but you kind of reached a point where you had some visions and premonitions of what was going to happen to you. And
yeah.
So
let me tell you, sorry to cut you off, brother, but let me tell you a little bit more into that. So I grew up in church before I was banging out. When my auntie took me and my brother in, she kept us in church. Right. Now, I had no business, me or my brother, joining any gang. We wasn't raised like that. Went to church. We pray to God when we got any problems. And it's still like that with me today.
For sure.
Because I pray to God whenever I got a problem.
That's
my
right.
Lord and Savior.
That's right.
I know. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
So, I was out here in the streets. I always had a thing. First, let me say, I always had a thing on when I was banging, whatever. Because I grew up in the church, I always had a problem with black on black violence. Even though I was a gang member, I was always a gang member. If I seen a Crip by myself, I give him a pass. Get the out of here. If I'm with my brother and my homies, I can't give you a pass because they gonna turn up. And I got to too. But I was always the kind of gang member. I was never the gang member to go out to harm nobody just because they was from a different set. And let me explain that. The only time I could actually do something, I would have to get shot at. I would literally have to be in my hood to get shot at over there in order for me to go do something dumb. You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'm just not that man just to go jump up. I'm gonna go kill this man because he wearing blue. I wasn't raised like that. Although I'm in a gang and I'm from a gang, I still believe in God. I still know right from wrong. And because I know right from wrong, God showed me.
That's right.
What was going to happen if I kept on doing what I was doing. Because I was being a big hypocrite. I'm banging Monday through Saturday, but Sunday I go to church praying. I pray every night, bro. I'm out in the streets banging, but I go home every night and I pray and ask God to forgive me. But the next day I'm back out in the streets doing the same thing. You can't do that.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And that's what I was doing. Going to church, my auntie and them not knowing I'm in the streets banging. Going to church, but Monday through Saturday, I'm out here being a heathen.
Right.
So in 2005, my homeboy, Little E-Rock, got killed by the police. And then my homeboy, Little Bandit, was killed. Little Bandit was killed first, and Little E-Rock was killed a week later by Inglewood police. They came and raided the building, and my homeboy, Little E-Rock, had the strap and tried to throw the strap. When he took off running, the police shot him all in the back.
Ah, man, rest in peace.
So after that happened, and a homie wound up getting killed, Little Bandit, by some enemies, I find myself doing things that I don't normally do, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right. We ain't got to say it.
Huh?
We ain't got to say it. I get you. I hear you.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, bro. I find myself doing things that I don't normally do.
Right.
So, one day I went to bed. The dream just popped up. Popped up as a nothing, just went to sleep. I wouldn't even sleep 5 minutes. And a dream just popped up. And it showed me walking into the bottoms on 104th and Crenshaw. And as soon as I hit the block, I got on a red shirt. It was a car parked. He had tinted windows. And right when I passed the car up, somebody jumped out the car and was like, "Where you from?" And I was like, "I'm from Crenshaw Mafia." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And once I turned around to walk off, and some said turn around, when I turned around, the nigga pulled out a 12-gauge shotgun and blew my head clean off.
Woo.
Blew my head clean off. Now, I see this. See myself dead. See my family members at my funeral. I got a closed casket because my head got blew off.
Right.
And I just remember waking up in a cold sweat. Jumped up like, damn, what the I'm sorry. Like, what the heck? And then next thing you know, I get up, get me a wet towel, wipe my face off, lay back down. The dream continued right from where it left off at.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the dream continued right from where it left off at, and then it said, if you continue doing what you're doing, this is going to be the outcome of you.
Right.
Leave it alone now. Just like that. And I woke up again, and I started crying, and I started praying. And my only concern was then is, I'm in this too deep. how am I going to get out of it?
This is, and I hope all you kids out there that's in the lifestyle or thinking about joining the lifestyle is listening, paying attention. This is real. This is reality for a lot of the youth in Southern California. But yeah, let's.
And before I had the dream, and before I stopped banging and made it official that I was gonna quit and told my auntie and them, like I said, there was a lot of stuff going on. They found out that I was gang banging after the house got shot up. Some Crips followed me home.
Ooh.
I was flamed up. They followed me home, waited till I hit my auntie yard, and they started shooting. And that's when my auntie and them found out that I was gang banging. And when they found out where I was from, it's because I was from Crenshaw Mafia, and they knew the history of that. They was like, you gotta go. Because they already went through it with one of my older cousins, that they went through gang banging. My older cousin Country was from Avenue Paul Rue Gangsters.
Oh, yeah.
And the house got shot up, and they set our house on fire with us in there. And they made my cousin move from that. So soon when the house got shot up and they found out that I was banging, I had to go. Oh, and that's what I was going through. At the same time, my auntie and them is telling me I got two choices. I'm going to Arkansas with my daddy, or I'm going to Detroit, Michigan. I don't want to go, but I got to, because I knew the rules. They don't tolerate no gang banging in their house. You can't stay there if you're a gang member. You have to go. That's the rule. So once they found out, I had to go. And the only way that I could stay if I actually got put off. So after I had my dream and I told my auntie, I talked to her, I woke up crying, I prayed, and I told her what happened about the dream. And I told her, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to give it up. And she was like, you in it too deep because of the hood you in. This ain't just no normal hood you can just walk on to and walk off of. And I told her I know. And she was like, they gonna kill you, man. And she was like, you got to get up out of here. And she was crying, and I was crying. And I told her, I got myself in this, and God is going to help me get out of it, because he knows I want to get out of it, and I want to do right now.
Sorry, all my wig splitters. I hate to stop it right here, man, but this is so exclusive, I got to chop it into parts, man. So, maybe this way you guys appreciate it more, but keep it locked. I got some fire coming soon. Wiggins!